If you're a man over 60, this message may be more important than you realize. Many men at this stage of life begin to experience frustrating urinary symptoms, waking up multiple times at night, or struggling to start and stop the flow. Most are told it is simply a normal part of aging, something unavoidable that comes with the years. But the truth is different. What is happening inside your body is not just determined by your age. It is shaped every single day by the habits you follow without even thinking. As a doctor who has worked with countless men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, I have seen two very different paths. Some men make small but powerful changes and keep their prostates healthy, avoiding the discomfort and sleepless nights. Others ignore the signals and continue with daily routines that slowly, silently enlarge the gland until problems become unavoidable. The purpose of this video is not to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge. Over the next few minutes, I will reveal 10 common habits that may be damaging your prostate right now, and, more importantly, show you the simple adjustments that can protect it. Stay with me until the end. You may find the key to lasting relief and better health. One of the most overlooked habits that quietly damages the prostate is dehydration. Many older men believe that drinking less water will help them avoid frequent trips to the bathroom, especially at night. It sounds logical at first, but in reality, it does the opposite. When you consistently reduce your fluid intake, your urine becomes more concentrated. This concentrated urine irritates both the bladder and the prostate, creating the perfect conditions for inflammation. The prostate sits directly below the bladder, and when the bladder is under stress, that pressure transfers downward, making the gland more vulnerable. Over time, chronic dehydration leads to swelling, discomfort, and urinary difficulties that only worsen with age. Medications that many seniors take for blood pressure or heart conditions already contribute to dehydration, so drinking too little water compounds the damage. Your body also struggles to flush out toxins when it is dehydrated, placing even more strain on the urinary system. The solution is surprisingly simple. Instead of avoiding water, make hydration your daily shield. Sip small amounts regularly, even if you do not feel thirsty, and pay attention to the color of your urine. Clear or light yellow is a sign that your body is well hydrated. Proper hydration calms the bladder, eases pressure on the prostate, and helps reduce unnecessary inflammation. By choosing to drink enough water each day, you are giving your prostate one of the most natural and effective forms of protection. Another hidden danger to prostate health comes from something almost everyone does without thinking: sitting for long hours. You might enjoy relaxing in your favorite chair, reading a book, or watching television, but when your body stays in one position too long, circulation in the lower half of your body slows dramatically. This reduced blood flow places constant pressure on the pelvic region, including the prostate itself. Over weeks, months, and years, that lack of circulation becomes a breeding ground for inflammation, swelling, and irritation. The bladder may also struggle to empty completely when the pelvic floor muscles weaken from inactivity, leaving behind residual urine that further aggravates the prostate and increases the risk of infection. What begins as harmless relaxation gradually transforms into a silent stressor on one of the most sensitive areas of your body. The encouraging news is that it does not take hours of strenuous exercise to undo the damage. Something as simple as standing up every 30 minutes, stretching your legs, or taking a short walk around the house can dramatically improve circulation. Gentle movements keep the pelvic floor active, relieve pressure, and allow the bladder to empty more effectively. Think of each small step as an investment in your comfort and independence. You do not have to give up rest or leisure, but balancing stillness with movement ensures that your prostate remains calm, healthy, and resilient. A few minutes of activity today can spare you years of discomfort tomorrow. For many seniors, a steaming cup of coffee in the morning or a strong tea in the afternoon feels like a daily ritual that cannot be missed. While a small amount of caffeine can be harmless, drinking too much throughout the day creates hidden stress for both the bladder and the prostate. Caffeine is a natural diuretic, which means it increases urine production and forces the bladder to work overtime. This often results in frequent urges, sudden trips to the bathroom, or even leakage when control weakens. Beyond that, caffeine stimulates the muscles around the bladder to contract more often, while at the same time tightening the neck of the bladder, making it harder to empty fully. When urine lingers inside, it puts unnecessary pressure on the prostate and increases inflammation. For men who already struggle with an enlarged prostate, this extra load can make symptoms far worse. The good news is that you do not need to give up your favorite drink completely. Moderation is the key. One small cup in the morning is usually fine, but switching to decaf, herbal teas, or warm water with lemon for the rest of the day can give your urinary system the break it needs. By reducing caffeine gradually, you will likely notice fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom, improved comfort, and a calmer prostate. Every choice you make with your cup influences your long-term health, and a thoughtful adjustment today can lead to lasting relief tomorrow. The foods you choose every day have a direct effect on how your prostate feels and functions. Many men enjoy the bold flavors of spicy dishes or the convenience of packaged meals. But these very habits may be fueling irritation without them realizing it. Spices such as chili peppers, black pepper, and hot sauces can trigger inflammation throughout the body, including the delicate tissues of the prostate. For someone whose gland is already sensitive or slightly enlarged, repeated irritation can make symptoms worse over time. Processed foods pose an even greater challenge. Items like canned meats, frozen dinners, salty snacks, and fast food are filled with preservatives, artificial additives, and unhealthy fats that do nothing to support prostate health. High sodium levels force the body to retain water, which puts added strain on the urinary system, while excess unhealthy fats and chemicals disrupt hormonal balance, a factor directly tied to prostate growth. The long-term result is inflammation, weight gain, and a higher risk of urinary discomfort. But there is a brighter path. By choosing fresh vegetables, leafy greens, berries, whole grains, and healthy fats from sources like olive oil or nuts, you create an internal environment that calms inflammation and stabilizes hormones. A colorful plate filled with natural foods does more than nourish your body. It actively protects your prostate. You do not need to give up flavor or satisfaction. You only need to shift your choices toward fresher, more natural options that allow both your taste buds and your health to thrive. One of the most damaging yet surprisingly common habits is holding in your urine for too long. Almost everyone has done it at some point. Waiting until it feels convenient, finishing a task before heading to the bathroom, or ignoring the urge because a restroom is not nearby. For seniors, this habit is especially risky. When urine remains in the bladder for extended periods, the bladder stretches and strains under the pressure. That tension does not stay isolated. It pushes directly down on the prostate, which sits just beneath. Over time, this repeated stress irritates the gland and can lead to swelling. To make matters worse, aging naturally weakens the muscles that control both the bladder and the prostate, making it harder to empty fully once you finally do go. Leftover urine creates a stagnant pool where bacteria thrive, increasing the risk of urinary tract infections that further inflame the prostate. The discomfort can spill over into every part of life, from restless nights to daytime urgency that interrupts routines. The simple solution is to listen to your body the moment it signals the need. Do not delay, especially before bedtime, when holding urine can rob you of precious sleep. By respecting your body's signals, you ease pressure on both the bladder and the prostate, reduce the chance of infection, and give yourself lasting relief. It is a small, mindful choice with profound benefits for comfort and health. Smoking is one of the most destructive habits for overall health, and the prostate is no exception. Each cigarette releases thousands of harmful chemicals that travel through the bloodstream, reducing circulation and damaging delicate tissues along the way. When blood flow is restricted, the prostate receives less oxygen and fewer nutrients, making it more vulnerable to inflammation and long-term enlargement. Smoking also generates high levels of oxidative stress, a process that weakens the body's natural defenses and accelerates cellular damage. Over the years, this silent assault not only worsens prostate symptoms, but also increases the risk of developing prostate cancer. Even if you do not smoke yourself, regular exposure to secondhand smoke can be nearly as harmful, steadily chipping away at your body's resilience. The encouraging reality is that it is never too late to quit. Within weeks of stopping, circulation begins to improve, inflammation decreases, and the body starts to repair itself. Men who step away from smoking often notice greater comfort, better energy, and a calmer urinary system. If quitting feels overwhelming, remember that you do not have to do it alone. Doctors can provide strategies, support groups, and nicotine replacement options to make the journey safer and more manageable. Protecting your prostate starts with removing one of its greatest enemies. Every day without smoke is a day of healing, and choosing to walk away from cigarettes is one of the most powerful gifts you can give your health and your future. One of the most dangerous mistakes many men make after the age of 60 is skipping their regular health checkups. The prostate can enlarge silently over the years, causing little or no discomfort at first, which give a false sense of security. By the time symptoms like frequent urination, weak flow, or interrupted sleep appear, the gland may already be significantly enlarged or inflamed. Regular screening changes everything. Simple tests such as the PSA blood test and the digital rectal exam can reveal early warning signs long before they develop into bigger issues. These tools allow doctors to catch problems at a stage when they're most treatable, preventing complications that can disrupt your quality of life. Annual checkups may feel unnecessary if you're not experiencing discomfort, but they're one of the strongest defenses against both benign enlargement and more serious conditions like prostate cancer. Think of it as a yearly investment in your peace of mind and longevity. Taking 1 hour out of the year to meet with your doctor can save you years of difficulty down the road. Men who prioritize these visits often discover small changes they can make to keep their prostate healthy and their lifestyle active. Ignoring your health only creates uncertainty, but staying proactive gives you control. After 60, a yearly checkup is not a burden. It is a lifeline to protect your independence, comfort, and future well-being. Red meat has long been a staple on many dinner tables, but eating it too often can quietly harm your prostate health. Beef, pork, and lamb are rich in saturated fats that fuel inflammation in the body. This inflammation does not stop at your joints or arteries. It reaches the prostate as well, making it more prone to swelling and discomfort. Excessive red meat can also disrupt hormonal balance, particularly testosterone and estrogen levels, which play a critical role in prostate growth. On top of that, heavy consumption often slows digestion, creating bloating and sluggishness that add even more pressure to the lower abdomen and urinary system. Over time, the combination of poor digestion, hormonal imbalance, and inflammation creates the perfect storm for prostate enlargement. The good news is that you do not have to give up the flavors you love. Instead, moderation and smart substitutions make all the difference. Limiting red meat to just 1 or 2 meals per week, while leaning on healthier proteins like chicken, fish, lentils, beans, and tofu gives your body what it needs without the damaging side effects. Fatty fish, such as salmon or sardines, bring omega-3 fatty acids that actively fight inflammation, while plant-based proteins support digestion and balance. Choosing lighter, cleaner protein sources helps the prostate function smoothly and gives you more energy day to day. By rethinking what fills your plate, you're not depriving yourself. You are empowering your body to stay strong and resilient for years to come. Carrying extra weight around the midsection may seem like a simple matter of appearance, but belly fat is far more harmful than most men realize. Unlike fat stored elsewhere, abdominal fat is metabolically active, releasing inflammatory chemicals that travel throughout the body. These substances disrupt hormonal balance, driving up estrogen levels while lowering testosterone, a shift that fuels prostate growth and irritation. At the same time, the physical bulk of belly fat presses directly on the bladder, leaving less space for it to expand comfortably. The result is more frequent urges to urinate, interrupted sleep, and a constant feeling of pressure in the lower abdomen. Over time, this cycle of inflammation, hormone imbalance, and bladder strain becomes a major burden on daily life. The encouraging news is that even small lifestyle adjustments can make a profound difference. By reducing sugary drinks, cutting back on refined carbs, and focusing on balanced meals with lean protein, vegetables, and whole grains, you begin to lower inflammation and stabilize hormones. Adding a daily walk of just 20 to 30 minutes helps burn fat, improve circulation, and ease the load on the prostate and bladder. You do not need to chase extreme diets or punishing workouts. Consistency in simple choices is what matters most. Each pound lost around the waistline is not just a cosmetic change, but a direct step toward reducing pressure, calming inflammation, and giving your prostate the chance to function with greater ease and comfort. Chronic stress may be the single most destructive habit for prostate health, yet often goes unnoticed because so many men accept it as a normal part of aging or daily life. When the body is under constant stress, it releases high levels of cortisol, a hormone that disrupts balance in nearly every system. Elevated cortisol not only fuels inflammation, but also interferes with testosterone production, creating the very conditions that encourage prostate enlargement. Stress also has a powerful effect on the nervous system, tightening muscles in the pelvic region and making urinary symptoms worse. Over time, this constant tension leads to more frequent urges, weaker flow, and restless nights that drain energy and motivation. What makes chronic stress so dangerous is that it compounds every other risk factor. You may eat well, exercise, and avoid harmful habits, but if stress is unchecked, it can still sabotage your progress. The good news is that stress relief does not require drastic measures. Simple breathing exercises, short walks outdoors, or stretching before bed can calm the nervous system and lower cortisol. Social connection is equally important. Spending time with friends or loved ones helps the body feel safe and supported, reducing the burden of stress. Finally, prioritizing restful sleep allows the body to restore balance naturally. By managing stress with mindful practices and consistent routines, you protect not just your peace of mind, but also your prostate, ensuring it remains healthy and resilient for the years ahead. As we come to the end of this journey, let us take a moment to reflect on the 10 habits that silently harm prostate health and the simple steps that can reverse their effects. We began with dehydration, a habit that makes the bladder and prostate work harder than they should. We looked at the dangers of sitting too long, the overuse of caffeine, and the irritation caused by spicy and processed foods. We uncovered how ignoring the body's natural urge to urinate, smoking or inhaling secondhand smoke, and skipping regular checkups all create invisible damage over time. Then we examined the risks of eating too much red meat, carrying excess belly fat, and living under the weight of chronic stress, perhaps the most destructive habit of all. What ties these lessons together is not fear, but empowerment. Every single one of these habits can be changed, and none of them requires drastic sacrifice. Drinking more water, moving a little every half hour, choosing fresh foods, managing stress, and scheduling yearly checkups are small steps, but when practiced consistently, they transform your health from the inside out. Your prostate, like the rest of your body, thrives on daily care and mindful choices. Now is the time to act. Do not wait until discomfort forces change. Start today, share this message with someone who could benefit, and consider using the Senior Health Tracker app to monitor your progress and stay motivated. Remember, the choices you make now shape the comfort, freedom, and energy you will enjoy tomorrow. Care for your prostate today so you can live fully, vibrantly, and with confidence in the years ahead.